February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. Because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable the centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the second and third level and deliver blocks.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And now it's third down. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, And now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And he's looking good now. I mean, 5 touchdown passes in the last game. Okay, he threw a couple of interceptions. That's a little bit of a concern. But I remember a basketball coach telling me one time, he had a guy average about 40 points a game, and he said the press got all over him because he didn't play much defense. He said he's averaging over 40 a game. The guy against him's not scoring that. We still have the advantage.
Yeah, and they got the win last week in that effort.
Even better. It's always best to clean up things after a win than after a loss.
Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Set, lady. 50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. You can't block me.
On 2nd down, Anthony. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Lady! You ain't going nowhere. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Right back to him on first down. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. Very, very strong. Well over 100 yards.
He should get the ball early and often here, too. I mean, when you're riding the performance of last week into this game, his confidence level has to be off the charts. Go ahead and keep feeding him.
40 got. 40 got. Hey, check 25.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that carries over now to October, because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started, at the end of last season. right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. On 2nd and 10, Brissett. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's different.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a pickup of a yard there. That won't help too much. They're left with a 3rd and forever now.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw is Brissett. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Hey, 50.
The first down carry here for Johnson. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 36, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd and short.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. To throw is Stafford.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Stafford will stay out there. He'll lead his guys up to go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Brissett sets to throw it. Funches has it complete. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big run there by Johnson, 46 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Is it bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
A first down throw for Brissett. He completes it to Hunt. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jarrett Davis came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Off the play fake, here's Brissett. And he gets it to Funchess, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. From the 31, Brissett. Ebron with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Here's Brissett. He completes this one to Mack. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Throwing, Brissett, and he's got his tight end. That's Ebron, and it's a Colt touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved.
Complete to Eric Ebron. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jake Elliott on for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Aaron Jones on his way to what could be a record day. He's over 100 yards in the first half alone. Stafford on first down. Screen play, Johnson. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. On third down, Johnson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They run. It's Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted, because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it, and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify it with is it was only a few inches that they needed. If it's 4th and 2, probably doesn't do it. Hey, he got it. Give him credit.
Yeah, but if they don't pick it up,
then you're in trouble.
Yeah, they're giving points to the other team at that stage.
They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
To throw again on second down. Brissett. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 27.
We want it. Come to my world. What? Hurry. Say.
Here's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down.
Under 10.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Got the connection here to Bourne. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Play action now. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Back to throw. Stafford under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. The shotgun snap for Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit, because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
26 Mike. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 26 Mike. 26 Mike. We ain't giving up nothing.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
22.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Now Brissett to the right side to Eric Ebron. No gain there on the completion, second and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Brissett. He's going to let this go end zone for Hilton. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown.
That's it, baby.
T.Y. Hilton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He has been a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
On first down at Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, 5-0! Hey! Check safety, 59!
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I, though?
We play to win. Let's go.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Brissett, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton once again the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. It's caught by Funchess. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
A gain of 13 yards. 1st down.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Brissett to throw on 1st. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Brissett sets to throw it, and that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now they go for it on 4th down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Lions will take over. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They'll run it here with Brown. And, his first carry, he loses the football. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Brissett. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Brissett now. Funches has it complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw, Brissett. Short little throw to Ebron. And I think the ball's out.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, that's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they... constructed their offensive line.
Now Pirine. Now Pirine is stripped of the football, and the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point good by Prater. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Brissett on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as he'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Brissett again. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Lions, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be